Super Troopers.
That look like spit to you?
Yeah.
Ah.
The dumbest smart comedy ever made. Before TikTok pranks, before YouTube social experiments, before everyone with a ring light and no self-awareness thought they were funny, there was Super Troopers. A movie that asked one simple question. What if the people enforcing the law were 5 guys trying to entertain themselves on the clock?
Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
This isn't a comedy. This is a workplace documentary where the workplace should be shut down immediately. And yeah, this movie taught a generation that saying meow during a traffic stop was a personality trait.
Now what is so damn funny?
I could have sworn you said meow.
Do I look like a cat to you, boy? Am I jumping around all nimbly-bimly from tree to tree?
No.
It's not. It's a legally binding life decision. Deep cut history, how this movie actually happened. All right, here's where this gets interesting, because Super Troopers didn't come out of Hollywood. It came out of 5 guys trying to survive long enough in comedy to get noticed. Broken Lizard. Built in rooms, not boardrooms. These guys met in college, and instead of taking the normal route, they built a comedy group, not a sketch comedy thing for TV. I'm talking live shows, small venues, real audience, no safety net. If a joke bombed, you felt it immediately.
It's all good. Appreciate y'all, though.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
What did they do? They started building material that couldn't just kinda work. It had to hit, or it died. And that's the DNA of Super Troopers. Every joke feels like it's fighting for survival.
You still have that Halloween costume? Oh, hell yeah, you don't throw out.
Before this, they made another movie, Puddle Cruiser. That was their foot in the door. It gets them attention from the Miramax world, but not enough to make them stars, just enough to keep them in the conversation. And that's where Super Troopers comes from. 5 guys who almost broke through and decided to go all in on something way riskier. Sundance midnight screening gamble. So, they take Super Troopers to Sundance, midnight screening, which is basically the Wild West of film festivals.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
You're not there for prestige. You're there to see if something works with a tired, slightly unhinged crowd. And this movie hits hard enough that studios start circling. Fox Searchlight buys it for a few $1 million, which basically means a bunch of executives laughed at this at midnight and then had to explain it to their boss at 9 a.m.
Okay, because I'm telling you, man, what happened wasn't my fault, all right?
That's not confidence, that's momentum mixed with fear. Harvey Weinstein and the market creation. Here's a weird deep cut. There's industry chatter that Miramax actually helped create a market for the movie at Sundance. Not because everyone understood it, but because one powerful voice said, this might be something, and suddenly, everyone wants it. That is Hollywood. Half instinct, half panic. That opening stoner traffic stop, not pure fiction. It's actually based on a real story. A guy, a car, and a terrible decision involving drugs and panic.
Littering and smoking the reefer.
So, the creative process was basically take a bad real-life moment and make it catastrophically worse. That's not writing, it's just escalation therapy. The opening scene, make or break. Now the boys knew the first scene had to work. There's no warm-up and there's no slow build. Because if that traffic stop doesn't land, this movie dies instantly. So what do? They push it, and they push it further than normal, longer than expected, and way past the point of comfort. And then they keep going.
Officer Rabbit and I are gonna stand here while you three smoke the whole bag.
Please, no.
Please, yes. Mother of God.
That's the formula. Don't stop when it's funny, stop when it's dangerous. Meow. Oh, Farva. The meow bit didn't come from writing. It came from these guys in a hotel room, slowly losing their minds. Late nights, no filter, throwing out dumb ideas until something sticks. And what stuck? Not the smartest joke, the most committed one. That's why it works. It does not care if you like it. It dares you not to.
License and registration? Chicken
Brian Cox, the serious actor in a non-serious world. Brian Cox read this script and still chose to be in it. Let that sink in. A classically trained actor looked at this chaos and said, "I'm in, let's do it."
Oh, hell! Give me the goddamn soap!
And he plays it completely straight. That's the trick. Drop a serious actor into nonsense and everything gets funnier. Why it didn't blow up, and why that helped. In theaters, solid, not massive. But then, DVD, cable, dorm rooms, this is where it became a cult movie. Because it's not a one-time watch. It's a repeatable experience. You don't just watch it, you rehearse it. And literally, every time you watch it from now until eternity, you're going to find something that you didn't see before. There's so many little things that you never noticed. Rapid fire facts. Now, this is where the rewatch crowd separates itself from society. License plates equal inside world building. These aren't random props. They're crew jokes, references, little fingerprints of the people who made it. Low budget forces creativity, so they hide jokes where only obsessive people look. Background breaking equals real energy. Watch the background. People are barely holding it together. That's not failure, that's authenticity. Joke structure equals stack, don't reset. Most comedies reset. This one does something called stacking. It piles jokes on top of each other until the scene collapses.
I will have the enchilada platter with 2 tacos and no guacamoles, Mike.
Yeah, Chief. I'll take a chinchilla.
I don't get it. Tacos?
They think I'm Mexican.
You're not Mexican?
Car equals writer's room. So much of this movie is in cars. That's not just the budget. It's the origin. That's where the jokes were born. So they went back to it. You were trained to quote it. This movie builds lines that you can repeat. You didn't choose to quote it. It literally programmed you.
I believe that when me shit turns purple and smells like rainbow sherbet.
This is crazy. We have Rami, Ramathorn, Mr. Mustache Ride himself, Jay Chandrasekhar, on with us right now.
Hello, Jake. It's Jay Chandrasekhar here, coming to you live from my car.
Super Troopers feels like it could have been used as evidence against you guys. And we got a couple questions about that. So, question 1. Did it feel like this was a real movie or like you were getting away with something?
Had all these trucks, and we paid $1.2 million for the budget, which wasn't ours. It was somebody guy who invested it, and we were like, I don't know, couldn't believe we had so many trucks. And but we didn't have a lot of crew, and so we would drive the police cars back to our motel where we'd park them overnight, which, you know, usually have a transportation department, but we couldn't afford that. And so Eric Stolhansky, who played Rabbit, was driving one of the patrol cars back, and he ran into a little traffic, and he goes, fuck it. And he flips on the siren and the lights, and every car in New York State pulls over and lets this Vermont highway patrol car go by. And he goes to the motel, and we're all smoking weed and hanging out. And we were probably drinking. Maybe we weren't smoking weed. I'm not even sure. We were doing both. And then the police, you see them real police coming in the thing. So we're all like, oh no. And they knock on the door, and I answer the door because I'm the director. I kind of have to be the boss. And I'm like, what's up? And they're like, well, was one of you guys driving a police car with the lights and siren on? And I was like, yeah, I mean, maybe. That's possible. And they said, who was it? And I'm like, well, it's one of my guys. His name's Eric. He's and meanwhile, Eric was in the room, but he was hiding under the bed. And the guy goes, is he here? And I'm like, nah, he's not here. He came, and then he went running. I don't know, he's gone. And the guy's like, will you tell him he ever does that again, we're going to throw him in jail for impersonating a police officer.
Did you know that opening scene had to land instantly?
I was, the first time I saw it was in the lab in New York before we went to Sundance. And I said to Kevin, after we watched that scene, I said, stop the film. And I get up and I'd say to Heffron, I said, that opening scene sucks. And he goes, what are you talking about? It's funny. I'm like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. This is going to be embarrassing tomorrow. We have to do this stupid screening and everyone's going to like the opening scene. The rest of the movie's fine. The opening scene sucks. I was mad. I don't know. I didn't like being in it. I didn't know what it was. It was weird. I don't know. In any case, once I saw it in front of a crowd 2 nights later in Park City, Utah, they were roaring, and it was like an explosion of laughter. And I admit it, I was weeping because it was so tense.
How often did you push jokes past logic on purpose?
I think all the jokes do make sense within the context of what's happening in the movie. And, it's like, okay, I'll think of some of the jokes that maybe don't make sense, like maybe the lice hate powdered sugar. That seems... But, the local cops don't really think the lice hate the powdered sugar. They just like to throw powdered sugar on on people they capture. They're just dicks. So that made sense. The snozberries taste like snozberries. The guy's tripping on mushrooms. So that made sense. The shenanigans, we're just linking it to it. It all makes sense.
Jay, what are you up to now? I heard that you have a new project.
Making Super Troopers 3. There's a trailer out on the internet. It'll come out in theaters August 7th. And boy, is it a good one. It is a good one. It tested the highest of any movie in Searchlight's history. And the trailer's quite good. And I'm also doing stand-up around the country. So thank you. And who wants a mustache ride?
Next time I see you, let's have a syrup chugging contest. I've always wanted to do that. But now, the double whammy, Steve Lemmy. Yes, we have 2 guests today, and Steve was the calmest guy in the disaster. Steve, thank you so much for coming on. We have some questions about Super Troopers.
Hi guys, Steve Lemmy from Broken Lizard here.
Was it harder to stay grounded or not break?
Well, it's an interesting question because it's sort of like as the group goes, we all go. So, at times if the group is grounded and we're focused, then we're all focused and grounded. Although that's not really the case. There have been times where people are grounded and somebody is out of control. Sometimes it was me. And the other part is it harder not to completely spiral with everyone else. Well, yes, definitely. If 4 guys are out there just whooping it up and spiraling, well, guess what? I'm going to spiral with them. We're a little bit of a street gang, and we're friends from college. So, the truth of the matter is, honestly, like there were probably times in our careers when, if there was no other group, I might have given up on show business, and I bet each of the other 4 guys might feel that way at some point in their careers too. But we had each other. So, and then the cool thing is that if anybody ever insults any of my Broken Lizard mates, well, I can insult them, but you can't insult them. So, because they're my assholes.
How many takes got absolutely destroyed by you guys?
Our first movie, Puddle Cruiser, which we made before Super Troopers, and then Super Troopers, and then even Club Dread and Beer Fest. All of those movies were shot on 35 millimeter film. And the amazing thing is, we made Puddle Cruiser for, $150,000. We made Super Troopers 1 for $1.25 million. And so we didn't have the money to mess with takes. So we just stuck to the script. And if you had some improv that you wanted to do, you better be damn sure that it was good. Club Dread, we had more money. I think we had $8 million to make that movie, but amazingly, we had even less time, and we were out on location in Mexico, and so we really couldn't mess around. You know, it's a different thing because we've made Tacoma FD, and now everything is shot on video. So now you can break all the time, and it doesn't really matter.
Why does this movie still work? Why did it hold up? Like, after all this time, it's still relevant.
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about The Matrix. I just saw The Matrix the other day, and that movie is prescient. That movie is made in the 90s, and they're calling out AI for exactly what it is. And so, you know, I think the only thing that shouldn't have aged well about Super Troopers was, you know, we heard about it a little bit, was kind of like the cops being a little irresponsible, and now, you know, the cops are under fire, and, you know, but if you look back on our movie, I'll quote a famous film. Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun. If you can't handle what we're doing and you don't realize you're watching a movie, and then people are taking it way too seriously. So I remember, you know what? A story I've never told, I don't think, was in Super Troopers 1, when we were shooting the scene where Brian Cox takes a bite of the soap and spits it into my lap. On the first take, my mouth was open, and he actually spit it into my mouth. And I don't know if it was the best take, but I had a slimy piece of white chocolate with Brian Cox's saliva in my mouth. And you know what? I think it wasn't on film. I think that's the problem. It was on his coverage, but it went right in my mouth. But that's a really funny moment that I remember.
What are you up to now? Where can we find you?
Find me? Well, right now I'm sitting in my office at home in Los Angeles. The trailer for Super Troopers 3 dropped yesterday. You can watch it anywhere. So right now I'm just fielding lots of phone calls from my friends and family and industry people. And, as any smart filmmaker will tell you, now we're figuring out what to do with all the momentum that we've got. Talking about Potfest, talking about Super Troopers 4. We've got a bunch of other scripts that are written. And so just onward and upward. Alrighty. Nice chatting with you guys.
Thank you so much, man. I cannot wait to see Super Troopers 3. We will cover it when it comes out, but we really appreciate you coming and talking to us, and good luck with the new movie, man. Thanks. Side effects! Warning, viewing Super Troopers may cause saying meow in situations requiring legal counsel, laughing at authority figures too freely, attempting bits that are going to ruin your life, quoting these lines forever, and thinking you're actually funny. Long story short, you're not. All right. Pop pills! Your prescription for pop culture.